I've started to feel myself like go almost the opposite way.
Yeah, like uninterested.
Where I'm just going to be like, let's do it. Let's do whatever you want. In fact, don't play with that guitar. Don't play with that guitar because it's not going to lead you anywhere.
No.
Okay?
Only disappointment in your life.
Yep,
Kid.
that's it.
It won't even get you ladies.
No.
No.
You think it will.
You think it will. You need to wear many scarves for that.
Yeah.
You need to be like Dave Navarro.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's false idols, man. It's false idols, okay?
Which then makes him get it and pick it up. And
Exactly, and that's the problem. Is it's like going to be this reverse psychology. Shit. And so what I need to do is start saying like, hey, worst thing in your thing, you don't want to become like an accountant. Okay?
You don't want a job that's going to be secure for the rest of your life.
No.
That's boring.
No way, dude.
Oh, you know what you should really do? Start a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I have all the gear.
Yeah.
We could do it together.
Look, it's like I'm pulling out a Roadcaster. See?
Look at these buttons. You can program your own samples in there.
What's going on, Confused Breakfast?
You're gonna want to not take this pop filter off because that thing went through. That's got a lot of mileage on it. I'm
That's
telling
right.
you, that's a famous pop filter. Right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still good. See?
Well, hello and welcome to the Confused Breakfast. Do you remember the pure joy of a trip to the video rental store as a kid?
I do.
It's hard to beat the ease of the modern era and streaming platforms where you don't even have to leave your house. But there was something truly special about heading to Blockbuster with your girlfriend, spending an hour trying to agree on picking out a movie by hand, only to not watch it because when you got home, she put on her whipped cream bikini again.
Dang it.
On this podcast, we revisit and dissect some of our favorite childhood movies from that magical era to see if they still move us the way they did as kids. My name is Mike Schulte. Joining me, as always, two dudes who look like they fell out of the suck my dick tree. Sean Pryor and AJ Venz, how the heck are you?
Hit every branch on the way down. Hey, wait a second.
Hey, wait.
You gotta climb your way back to the top, and that's how you do it.
That's
You,
right.
Suck some dicks.
Well, boys, on today's episode, we discuss a movie that taught us all that having a pig as a pet is the perfect accessory for the overweight funny guy in high school. Stealing a cop car is okay if you're a football player. All dads in Texas are living in the past, and that reading Kurt Vonnegut means you're smart.
Yep.
We're, of course, talking about 1999's Varsity Blues.
Well, dang it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another nostalgic journey to the past with the Confused Breakfast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy wherever you are in the world. Take it away, boys.
If you are new to the Confused Breakfast, thank you for joining us. It's good to have you here. We're going to have a fun time. We're going to review this movie scene by scene with a modern eye. But in order to do that properly, we believe that you first have to talk about it nostalgically so that we can wipe that from the face of this earth.
True, we do believe
absolutely.
We believe that. So I think I'm going to go to AJ because he's in the middle of sipping something.
Yeah.
AJ, tell us the first time you saw this movie, what your nostalgic rating was when you get there.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Of all, like, I remember watching Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh, yeah.
And like thinking to myself, like this is the funniest movie of all time. And I was like, where did some of this come from, though? And then I realized I've never seen Varsity Blues.
Oh, no.
I have never seen Varsity Blues.
AJ.
And that's why I was like, but you know what? All the jokes still landed and were hilarious to me in that movie, but I didn't get the Varsity Blues reference directly. So big NA for AJ.
It's going to be exciting
Okay.
to see what he thinks about it. Sean, what about you, man?
Yeah, perusing the aisles of the video store and seeing this cover over and over and over again, I just always skipped over it. I had never seen this movie, heard about it a lot.
Oh, man.
Wow.
This is an NA for me as well.
This is exciting,
And
guys.
I've never seen, huh?
Because
Don't.
me, being Mike Schulte, loving high school movies.
Yeah.
You know I saw this.
Yeah, okay.
You know I saw Varsity Blues. This is 1999. I'm a senior in high school when this comes
One of
out.
the best years in movies.
One of the best years of my life, bro. Really.
Okay.
You know, just because being in high school is fucking great. And I had my Letterman's jacket in. And so
Peaked, huh?
I'll tell you what though. That being said and being known to the community, like I still didn't necessarily love this as much as some of the other movies that I did. It was definitely a watchable thing, and we laughed and we watched it, but I never once like bought it on DVD, which tells you a lot in that time of life. If you didn't own it in your collection, it wasn't that important to you. So yeah, I haven't seen it in maybe like 20 years after, leading up to this. So I'm going to give it just kind of a lowly 6.5 nostalgically. We got an executive producer on the show, Josh Miller, with us today. He says, I don't know if I would have ever picked Varsity Blues for a review, but not only do I feel like it deserves one, I feel like it's only fair since later this month I will be attending a meet and greet with James Van Der Beek with a screening of this movie. And it should be known, Josh Miller being an executive producer, this was his choice. He chose this movie for the show. I distinctly remember seeing this in theaters, and I remember being surprised when I saw it was an MTV production. I didn't remember seeing The Moon Man and the others that came before it. I know the first being 1996's Joe's Apartment, Beavis and Butthead Do America, and I believe Dead Man on Campus also would be a good episode. Ooh. Post Saved by the Bell, Mark Gosselaar is what he's saying. Thinking back on it, I remember really enjoying it as a young adult at the time. It was certainly made as teenage young adult version of Mighty Ducks. Well, sort of. Not really. For a sports movie that the sport took a back seat, it was good. The football action scenes were solid. Frankly, at the time, I didn't care too much about plot holes and character development. That being said, I still don't, at least to take away from the enjoyment of the movie about the plot holes and character development. I've seen this a number of times since my first watch, and I always enjoyed it, but based solely on my first watch, I would give this a 7.5. So just between me and Josh, we're a 7 on a nostalgic meter, which, believe it or not, has its own spot in our nostalgic rating system. That falls in at number 79, just below Basketball, Heathers and Predator, just above Waterworld, Con Air, and Cliffhanger.
Interesting.
So it's a decent spot. It feels right.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But we're gonna strip it all away. We're gonna strip ours away, and we're gonna see what you guys feel about it for watching it for the first time.
Okay.
First, we got to go to Sean. We got to learn all the important details of the movie. Sean, what do you got on this one?
Varsity Blues, produced by Brian Robbins, Michael Tolan, and Martin Wiley. Written by W. Peter Liff. He also wrote Patriot Games and Point Break.
You don't say.
Pretty good movie.
You don't say.
Music by Mark Isham. We've seen him before. He did The Hitcher as well as Point Break. Cinematography by Chuck Cohen. Directed by Brian Robbins. He did Ready to Rumble, The Shaggy Dog, Norbit, Hardball with Keanu Reeves, and Good Burger.
Okay.
Hell of a lineup there, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Journeyman director. Cast: James Van Der Beek, John Voight, Paul Walker, Ron Lester, Scott Caan, Richard Lineback, Elil Swinton, Thomas Duffy, Ali Larder, Tony Perensky, Amy Smart, and Jesse Plemons. Yeah. He's in there. As a joint production of Paramount Pictures and MTV Productions, the script for Varsity Blues happened to be the perfect joint effort for a teen football movie. Wanting the film to be more of an actual football drama and a high school teen film, the two production houses were set to head to production. Director Brian Robbins wanted the actual football scenes to look as authentic as possible, like you were right in the field with the players. Robbins hired cinematographer Charles Cohen, who had experience shooting many football games in his career, as well as Mark Ellis as the football coordinator to make the scenes come to life. Once the actors arrived in Texas, where the film was shot, they had to undergo a lot of training for the actual gameplay scenes, again coordinated by Mark Ellis. James Van Der Beek said that it was one of the funnest shoots he had been on. He said, quote, "We were there on the field running real plays with real football players. Even the camera crew and director would know the football plays front to back so they could shoot them properly." I thought that was really cool, where they just like kind of read the plays and like kind of choreographed or like blocked out their camera moves with the actual football plays. Kind of cool. Varsity Blues was released on January 15th, 1999, and on a budget of $16 million, the film made $54.3 million at the box office, and there was a planned series to go to MTV, but that was scrapped. That's all I got.
Well, just a friendly reminder, if you love this podcast, you want to support the Confused Breakfast, 3 ways. That's all we're asking. Number 1, sponsor us directly at patreon.com/confusedbreakfast. It's the best way to get more in your life. We got bonus episodes, private watch parties, private Discord channel, voting on upcoming movies. Huge deal. Number 2, share it. You know you love this movie. You know your brother loved this movie. Your best friend did. Hit the share icon on your podcast app or your YouTube video. Send it right over to them. Say, listen to these guys. Number 3, support our sponsors. They keep our lights on, and they're only companies that we love and we've vetted and we enjoy their stuff. So click on the links in the notes. Try them out. Use the discount codes. That's all we ask of you.
Thank you.
But next, we got to talk to AJ, who does the research for us. We got to talk critical and fan ratings and reviews of this movie. What do you got?
I told you, I don't want your tomato meter.
Gross. I told you.
I don't want your life.
Your life.
Your life. Yeah, there it
I
is.
don't want your laugh.
Your life. Life. 45%. I don't want that tomato meter either. James Vanderbeek.
man.
45% splat.
So the critics think that out of any movie we've done, the critics thinks this is tied with 50 First Dates in Waterworld in 133rd spot.
It kind of makes sense.
It's like those
little
movies
bit.
combined together, kind of.
Yeah. I feel like there's something there. Yeah. 76% from the audience, though. So they were feeling a little bit better about this. This is a 6.5 on IMDb.
Listen to all the movies we've done that are 6.5. Basketball, Twister, Last Action Hero, Road Trip, Cliffhanger, Air Force One.
Yeah.
Movies.
Movies.
Well, those
Movies
are-
that I sometimes like to watch.
Yeah.
Those are some movies right there.
If they're on TV, why not?
Why not? Why not?
Why not?
Why
not?
not? Why don't you want my life?
Tom Keegan. Keegan.
Yeah, dude. Tim Coogan.
Yep. 60
Steve
out of
Kooser.
out of 100 over there at film.com. It's a straightforward website. I wonder what they talk about at film.com.
Just film stocks. You know,
it's-
Kodak.
It is an ostensibly serious story about being young and struggling to wrest control over one's life from the hands of fools. Yet it doesn't behave like a serious drama that wants to lead us anywhere.
Whoa.
Gotcha. How about 25? This is the San Francisco Examiner. Half comedy, half coming-of-age movie with another half or so of sports film and maybe another quarter of soundtrack that adds up to 175% of a bad movie.
Oh.
Zinger. Okie dokie. What about a 1 out of 10 here? This'll be, yeah. I hate this movie, said Troy Daniel Bush. This was in February 13th, 2020. No one was having a good time.
No.
Well, at least getting there. Bad dialogue. Nothing but net. Ugh. I don't want your life. So original. Let me know who wins. Wow. What a clever line. Bad jokes. I love that dog. I think it's a pig. Yeah.
So he's like literally taking notes like we do.
That's-
scene by scene.
That's supposed to be funny. Bad acting. The people who don't have Southern accents or trying to pull off Southern accents sound incredibly fake. Sorry. I'm like getting indigestion just reading this man's thing. Every time a character opened their mouth, I wanted them to shut it immediately. Also, the whole didn't want to move to the statue because it was too heavy thing. Yeah, you put it there, you can take it down. Screw off. That's just, I feel like they did
It's
like
pretty dumb.
They did it like all at the beginning there, and then they forgot that they were going to be doing a review, and then they just put in the last little bit, like, oh shit, it's over.
Well, that was a big thing in 2022, was taking down a bunch of statues.
Oh, well, that's a good point. Clearly written by someone who knows neither football nor Texas. This is a 2 out of 10. Dawson McKay. In 2021. This film is riddled with ridiculous stereotypes, terrible accents, and thinly veiled attempts at painting small-town Texas culture as stupid and backward. Being from small-town Texas, I can assure you this is nothing more than Hollywood writers see small-town America, and it couldn't be further from the truth. It's dumb, lazy writing that falls flat at the end. Complete waste of time.
Do not waste your time.
Which leads us right into the next and final review. 2 out of 10. A waste of time. And this is RWC 4520, January 14th, 1999.
Okay.
I saw this movie for free at a premiere in Washington, D.C. I would have been upset if I had spent any more than $0 to see it. It was a total waste of time.
Waste of time.
The plot lacked depth and was unrealistic. The acting was atrocious. Granted, the story takes place in Texas, but the homophobic and anti-women themes were disgusting. About the only redeeming factor was a couple of cute butt shots. But don't waste your time just for that.
I hate that review.
1 out of 2 people found that helpful. So.
Okay, good.
1 out of 2 butt cheeks.
1 out of
Helpful.
2 cheeks.
And really, you need both.
Appreciated the butt shots.
Well, boys, as you know, in America, we have laws. Laws against killing, laws against stealing, and if you're a white male, you have to start a podcast.
Yes.
Duh.
And it's just accepted that as a member of American society, you will live by these laws. So let's go out there and podcast for the next 75 minutes and leave it all out on the airwaves.
Yes.
We have the rest of our lives to be mediocre, but we have the opportunity to podcast like gods for the next 75 minutes.
Yeah.
Starting a mediocre interview podcast that only lasts 2 months may have been the opportunity of a lifetime for you, but I don't want your life. Here we go. So scene 1, in West Canaan, Texas, Jonathan Moxon wakes up to his dad worried about his high school football game that night. He's picked up by his friends on the football team and they go to school for a pep rally. They win the football game and go to the party afterwards. Guys, this is so fun.
This is so fun.
Already? Wow.
Listen, high school movies, we're
Put
going to
'em
talk
in your
about it, put them in
veins.
my veins, but we're also going to strip it apart because, like, come on. So did they just leave a lot of stuff out of the plot here? Because he's Jonathan Moxon's like doing the voiceover here at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
As if we're like meant to believe that maybe he became like a super smart writer and this is like his book.
Kind of like Outsiders
do you
or Stand
feel-
By Me. Yeah, it seemed like that a little bit.
But they really don't dig into that at all. They're
No.
just like, we just need a quick overview. Mox, come on in here. We need you to read something here.
we
quick.
just know that he's more interested in like the arts rather
Yes.
than like what he's supposed to be interested in the sports. And I like what he says. He's like, you listen to the coaches and did whatever you could to win the game because goddamn, they needed it more than we did, you know, because it's pretty much the plot of this movie.
Yeah. It's just the plot is parents and older people need it more than the kids actually playing the game.
Yeah.
Got it.
Got it. That's all you need to
That
know.
is all
But
we
we're just
needed
gonna have
to
fun
know.
with our friends, though,
Right.
if that's okay.
We thought we were having fun, and then we look back, we're like, yeah, that wasn't fun at all.
It wasn't fun at all.
Wow. Thanks for ruining my childhood.
His brother walks out on a cross.
Yep.
And his dad's like, what's that cross? What's that for? And his mom's like, oh, I think it's cute. Like, she's kind of a sweet mom. I was like, I think it's cute. It's a torture device.
Yeah. Yeah, you understand that that's what that is, right?
It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
They really fail to explain anything going on with why they chose to say, yeah, well, it's really cool because, see, you're like a super smart football player and your dad's like living vicariously for you, but it's really cool because your younger brother is, he's like 9 and he's just experimenting with world religions.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're totally just like, that's a normal thing.
Let him do that.
Just let him do his world religion thing.
It's
Yeah.
a phase. It's just a phase.
I don't know anyone that ever went through that phase.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I think it's a phase down in religious town, Texas. That's what it is.
I liked Street Sharks.
I like.
That's
You
what
know
I
what
was
I did when
into.
I was 9? When it rained, we each picked out a blade of grass. And on the side of the road, you know how like the water piles and like goes down. And then we'd put our blades of grass in there and chase it to see who made it to the sewer first.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah, that's what I did when I was
Yeah.
this kid's age.
When I was a kid, I had a tough time saying my R's. So
That was fun.
So yeah, he's
well, no,
doing the whole.
I'm just saying I don't think I could just like mimic the Bible and other world religions because I couldn't say the word religions without sounding like religions.
And you couldn't.
So
You don't have R's to roll.
no, I
Jesus
didn't.
Christ.
When you're trying to speak in
Jesus
tongues.
Christ.
Who are you? I'm Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, well.
Well,
freaking plutonium.
there is a bit of a sad story.
I just watch Ninja Turtles all the time.
Ninja Turtles. Did you read about the actor that played the younger brother? His
Was
name
that
is,
Jesse Plemons? Or
no, his name's Joe Pickler. He like did a few things, and then he's been missing since 2006.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did read a little bit.
Like
of that.
pretty sad story. Nobody really knows what happened to him. There's thoughts of like maybe he committed suicide, but he's never been found. No one knows anything about where he is. That's a pretty rough story to read when you're like, stupid football movie. Oh shit,
Kid's been missing.
God, he's been missing for
I
almost
think I
20
know
years.
where he is.
This will be fun to pull apart. Oh.
But interesting to note because I didn't recognize him from much, but I guess he did a little bit of acting beyond this. But
I think that he had his fingertips burned off, his ID erased, and all of his medical records erased, and now he's in the Men in Black.
He's
oh,
in
cool,
Men in Black.
nice.
Yeah. So-
he's Agent
Cure. Yep.
Cure.
P.
Double P.
Yep.
We're on double P by now.
Yep.
Yep.
That's better. We feel better now, right?
Good. I feel better about that.
How do you feel about John Voight 2 weeks in a row here? Well, almost 2 weeks in a row here. We had him 2 weeks ago. Didn't we?
National Treasure.
National Treasure.
National
Yeah.
Treasure, yeah.
Yep.
I have a question for you. Is John Voight always a fucking dick asshole? Like, has he
Yeah.
ever been like a normal, like nice guy in a movie?
I mean, not to my memory that I can recall. No.
John Voight, he might be. I feel like I'm going to say this right off the bat then. I think without him being in this role as your real antagonist, I don't know if this movie would have gone off as well. Like, or it would be as well remembered, to be honest. I think John Voight's performance fuels a lot of this.
I agree with you.
And at least gives us something to laugh about, like makes it worthwhile to laugh about. I don't know.
Well, and there's the guys that we famously will humanize goons in this show. Like, hey, come on, the movie's painting this guy in a bad light. No, this guy's a piece of shit.
This guy's an absolute piece of shit.
and he plays it very well.
Yeah.
Very, very well. And it leads into this little pep rally that they have.
Yeah.
Did you notice that at the high school where he's giving the speech and everybody's there and then Lance Harbor, our quarterback, Paul Walker, walks up and the microphone's just like this. He's like, yeah, we'd really like to.
Yeah.
All right.
The microphone's just way off to the side. If you ever
Dude,
look at this.
one of those guys as they're like going to school, they all get picked up
Yeah,
by
yeah.
the fat guy because it's funny because he's
funny.
fat. He's swigging syrup.
Oh,
and
dude, it's so
Oh,
funny.
man.
it's
Dude, it's so
such
funny
a
when he
good
does
bit
that.
of him because he's the fat one and it's
Right.
really funny.
But everybody loves him. He's
Right.
the fat guy.
Oh my god! Of course they do. He's fat,
And the reason he's fat is because he eats all this.
and the reason he's funny is because he's fat.
And the
Yeah.
reason that he's fat because he has a pig.
And it's funny.
And it's
It's
really
hilarious.
fun because it's a play because he has a pig because then it's like because might call him kind of a pig or something, right?
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
of the way he eats.
kind of fun.
It's his
funny.
identity.
It's
That's what he's known
Having-
for, and will always be known
identity.
It's funny. Like when you initially watch it, like, oh yeah, this is great, Billy Bob. And
for.
then you're
I
like,
think it's Scott Caan in the back. He's like, I'd fuck that pig. I need to fuck something right now. And then like they're at the pep rally, and Paul Walker's like, they all swoon over him. I'm sure if he's like, I'll fuck that pig right now, the ladies would still go nuts.
I
Of course,
know.
they're like, oh my god, yeah, he's so charming.
it's one of those things that this is so boys will be boys having fun. We're football players with like Texas football.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I think you always hear about it. You know, we're in Iowa. You always hear about like football down in the South.
Different.
It's just a different world. It's like Dazed and Confused, right?
Yeah.
This arm about ready to throw
Throw about
10,000 yards. It's next fall. It's like
looking tough.
Look into
13 Letterman. Starter's coming back. Looking tough.
man, that's a good movie.
I wish that guy was in every football
I
movie.
know.
And they just had a cameo where someone said that exact same words to the quarterback.
But it is like we kind of think about it like the sports athletics down in Texas or down in the South. It's like it's next level. Like they take it super serious and stuff. And like, but is it? I have to know if it was ever like this. The hilarity behind a billboard of home of Lance. What's his name?
No.
That's
Lance Harbor. Dude,
Lance
I
Harbor.
don't think you're I think you're thinking that this is like something that a trope that movies created. I think you're wrong. Like,
Yeah,
I think this is truthfully what it is.
Really?
Maybe not so much now, but like 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, like that was the identity of Texas small towns, was football.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's a trope. I think this was truthfully what it was like.
And I think it really does come through with this. And I do agree with you that it is probably pretty real. Unfortunately, like small towns like this is like that's all they have. Mm-hmm. Like they have like what's the nearest big town to them? We don't even know.
We've
far.
never been there.
I mean, we see Top Notch later, which is fucking awesome. So they're near
Austin to some degree,
but not in the movie. I guess that's just like in their town. But yeah, you're right. My brother was like a football star, and that was kind of his life. That was his identity. He was like one of the 4 horsemen of the greatness.
Yes.
In Prairie High School, and along with his friends, and they were kind of like gods, like these guys. And I mean, the stories he's told me is fucking almost as crazy as these ones. But yeah, it really makes me mad. Like, especially the way the coach and the adults treat this, because they haven't gotten out of here.
Yep.
And this is what they need to get out of here.
It's the very much the underlying point of the movie that I chose to focus on this time around was looking at this as an adult. The first time I saw this, I looked at this as a high school kid, being like, that's cool, they party.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, well, like I'm viewing it from that lens.
Yeah.
And it is a little interesting. Like I did want just a little bit more background on some of this stuff. Like you've got James Van Der Beek, which is Mox. There's really no backstory at all on him because he's super smart, right? He's artsy and he's smart because he's reading Kurt Vonnegut, Slaughterhouse-Five, because it's the only way that you can show that you're different than the rest of the guys, because you can read a cool artsy book.
Yeah.
But like he likes playing football. But he hates playing football. But he's really good because there's that moment where he gets the football sitting down, and throws it 1,000,000 miles an hour and like hits a guy on the sideline.
Yeah,
it makes no. They didn't have to make him this like, oh, but he's super artsy and he's trying to get out. He's trying to go to Brown,
right?
But he also loves football.
Right.
That was a little convoluted of a storyline for me.
It's like this idea that it's like this idea that he does like football, but he even says in the beginning, he's like, I hope I don't get playtime. Like Lance should get all the playtime. He's
then
amazing.
why are you there?
And he's just like the backup quarterback. And he kind of revels in this because it seems like he, before maybe anyone else, has seen what this really is. Like what the football really is. It's not for him. It's not for his friends. It's for the town.
Then what is he doing?
The coach. But he's pressured into it probably by his dad or by the team. Why would you? And maybe even his friends. Why would you not play football, Mox? Like, why would you not play? We love football, right? Like
time of our lives out here.
And he's counting down the games.
We want to be champions.
To be done.
Come on,
a
dog as many chicks as I can while I'm stuck in this place.
As far as like the artsy thing goes, and like him reading Kurt Vonnegut, I really don't mind it because they don't hammer you over the head with it. It's just kind of a couple times where they hint at it.
Just so you know.
And I really do kind of like and appreciate James Van Der Beek's performance in this because he's always kind of that like. He plays. I haven't figured it out yet. Really well. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
I just like he's. I'm gonna try different things and see what sticks. I'm gonna try and read Kurt Vonnegut, see if I like any of that. See if I maybe want to be a writer. Maybe I do like football. I don't know yet. Like I really like that about his character, and it does come across. I get what you're saying, but it doesn't like pound it over the head for me.
Yeah, it's okay. I guess they would have come up with this huge backstory on as a Netflix movie, and it would have been like, okay, I'm fine. But they where they really nail it though. I mean, like, listen, they go to this party afterwards, and where they really just like hit that never being able to move on past high school is that we all knew the dudes who showed up to high school parties.
Yeah. When did you graduate? 1980.
1980.
No, you shouldn't be here at all, dude. When I was a year out of high school, I think I went to like a friend's party, like that was a senior. I was like, no, I don't feel, and I can very rarely go back to Iowa City where I went to college because when I go there, I feel old and I feel like I'm going to break out man, when I was here,
I know.
And I don't want to do that. So I just choose to avoid those situations. But these guys that show up with their Letterman jacket. It's like dude from Just Friends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have $5 I could have.
and I love that they make fun of these people because you need to be made fun of.
Yeah, I mean, it's also the sad part of it too, where it's just like, dude, I don't care if you were graduated like, you know, a year ago and we're all seniors or something like that. You need to leave.
This is our time.
I don't care if you're just here trying to get drunk. That's not why you're here. You're here for I get older, they say the same age. That's why you're here.
Which is the Texas thing.
It's like this bad. It's. I'm not gonna let that one get glossed over.
Shout out Texas.
Shout out Texas.
Shout out Texas. Sponsor us.
But like it's one of those things, like it's a combination, you're right, of like a Wooderson and an O'Banion, because you know O'Banion's like, y'all ready to bust some ass? That guy's like, he's wearing his Letterman jacket on purpose to after they just won the football game.
Yep.
On, you know,
He was at the game. He
Yeah.
watched it. Same man. They didn't play as good as I would have played, but
yeah, exactly. Like, oh man, I remember that too, man, when I was playing.
man, Coach Kilmer really got on us. But
Yep.
we won the title.
Yeah,
We won.
their dads are all there making sure they get properly abused by this
Yeah.
head figure, you know.
That's another weird thing of like, well, I went through it, they need to go through it, kind of a thing.
Yeah, and it's almost like they don't want to be dads, or they are like resigning their fatherhood to Kilmer,
Right.
you know, and
Ugh.
they're
Put,
making
put them through the ringer.
yeah. So we don't have to do it, but we're gonna supervise.
Right.
That's really fucking weird.
We went through it, so you need to go through it.
Yeah.
It's that you know, the freshman paddling. Like,
Yes.
Oh well, you got it. You got to go through it. It's like, at some point that ends. You don't have to be the one
yeah.
that's like, nah, you got to do it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the worst mentality ever. Like, and watching it happen, I guess it is funny to watch that guy just get. It's like, okay, put that beer up on your head.
Yeah.
and like they should just rename it to America's Funniest Nut Shots or whatever. Scott Caan in this, he's like, now I understand why. You know, maybe this is such a big role in for Tweeter as a character, Scott Caan. I'm shocked I haven't seen this movie, I guess. He must have grown off of this movie a lot, I
He's
think.
totally taking from our favorite character in Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
And he does it really well, I think. What's his damn name?
Ah, come on,
Sasha.
man.
Yeah, Sasha. He's right
Yeah.
there.
Don.
Don. There it is.
I think he does a really good job. We like Scott Caan on this show, right?
I think this is my favorite Scott Caan role.
I think so too.
It can be very problematic, as we'll
Sure.
get into later on. But this is how I picture Scott Caan. This short guy energy, but ripped, but like confident, funny,
yeah.
dangerous.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's everything.
That's
He's
how it-
total
it is
package.
Literally how I want to remember Scott Caan for the rest of my life is
Yeah.
as Tweeter.
What's he doing now?
He's hanging out.
He's doing like Miami Vice or something. Like,
Oh, okay.
Isn't it that what it is? Or
I don't know.
Hawaii 5-0 or
Cool.
something like that.
Oh,
TV?
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, TV.
We need to bring up the CTE thing with what's his
Yeah, Billy Bob.
Billy Bob. I mean, it's because it's kind of a through line throughout this whole thing, and it's kind of ignored. And like, yeah, I think we should talk about that a little bit. But he's holding up like fingers. Like, how many fingers am I holding up? It's like, no, you gotta do true or false. Is he holding up fingers? True. It's like, because it's funny because he's fat and almost brain dead.
Yeah.
There's some
funny.
genuine concern here that he cannot know how many fingers you're holding up.
100%.
This is where I started just getting the immediate flashbacks to Not Another Teen Movie. And in that, he reprises his role.
Really?
Basically, he reprises it as a spoof. But it's the same guy, but instead of Billy Bob, they call him Reggie Ray. And then it's like he gets knocked out. It's like, Reggie Ray, can you hear me? He's just like, how many fingers am I holding up? And he's like, and he'll just be going around. Coach says it's okay to be bleeding from the ears.
Did you know Ron Lester, who played Billy Bob, was 28.
Oh, wow.
In this movie, playing a high schooler.
Wow.
That, you know, I started reading a little bit of backstory on him. He has passed away,
Yes.
Yeah.
unfortunately. I do think he plays, actually, I'll get into it later, but he has some great range in
does.
this movie. I'll be honest with you, great range. And it's kind of sad though too, because you kind of hear about that, and they talk about him in Hollywood. He really started to kind of pigeonhole because of this one characteristic, his weight, and it really started to become like why he would get roles and stuff. And he decided to basically sacrifice that and to get, healthier, lose weight. And there's like a quote out there or something from him that it says like, if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't have gotten the surgery. I would have just kept doing these roles.
Oh, man.
And I would have just taken the money. And then I would have just died rich and happy and doing whatever I want, rather than what happened to him.
Yeah.
And or I would die that way rather than this way.
It's kind of like Ethan Suplee kind of storyline.
Yeah.
But he actually got roles after.
Or
Right.
Aaron Schwartz from Heavyweights.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
He's ripped. He's
Oh,
a
yeah.
gorgeous man now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that guy's like he's the poster child for like Jazzercise. But no, like it is kind of sad. But I love the way he plays this role though. It's phenomenal.
And always on the verge of throwing up just throughout the entire movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's a tough role to play.
Yeah.
Don't ever puke in a washing machine. Like there's a lot of places we can clean up puke, but inside of a washing machine.
I mean, it's a
I
washing
think
machine.
that was a dryer or what? I don't know. Who cares?
I think the washing
think you
machine
do
would
that.
clean it out, and then you can just get the hot dogs out afterwards.
Oh God.
Right?
Puke and rally.
Yeah.
I'm back.
That's very funny.
Get me a beer.
Oh, but actually, we got to give an award here. Worst fashion award.
Uh-oh.
Listen, James Van Der Beek hanging out in that tucked in polo with those gigantic jeans.
The gigantic jeans.
With the holes at the end are like as big as his shoes.
Oh my God.
I don't miss that era at all. And James Van Der Beek's haircut is one of the worst of all time. Especially when his hair is kind of wet and they're just like they're like little strings coming down.
That
That
look
was a
is coming
style.
back.
Please don't.
I was at a graduation party yesterday, and every single kid had that.
Wearing baggier jeans too.
Yeah.
No,
Like-
Sean, and they also had like socks on with sandals, and they refused to wear ankle socks. Like I've officially reached the age where I'm like, no, you're idiots.
I think I saw jelly sandals.
you guys are dummies.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah,
Not allowed.
It's nice finally being outside of that and being able to be like look at it and be like, don't do that, guys. You're gonna regret that.
You're gonna regret that.
This isn't what you want to do to yourself. Okay?
You can call me an old man, and that's fine. If that means I don't have to wear socks with sandals, then I'm good.
The fact that it's like people are getting upset right now because they're wearing ankle socks and no-show socks with their shoes or when they
cool.
with their shorts, and you should be wearing like high socks.
Yeah.
It's like, why? I don't care. Nobody cares. Why are you making this a deal,
No,
TikTok?
I care. I'm making
Graphic
this a deal.
tees and New Balance shoes. Okay,
Yeah.
you're comfy for the rest of your life.
There you go. That's all you got to do, man.
Well, let's move on to scene 2. So after practice one day, the players and their parents have a barbecue. Max embarrasses his dad. Back at school, while learning about sex education, Billy Bob passes out. Even though he feels terrible, Coach Kilmer makes him play, which ends up getting star quarterback Lance injured. Mox comes in and wins the game and becomes a hero.
I do have to say, before we dive too far into this, the pep rally thing, Paul Walker might play the best awkward, trying to be cool because everybody loves him speaking at the pep rally guy. It's a very niche thing, I know, role to play. But boy, does he do it the right way.
I'm on that train. I'm with you.
He is spot on. He's like kind of looking around for approval. Doing that. He's got like, yeah, I had a dream of I was laying in bed last night. And laying in bed. And we only beat him by like 7 points. But I think that's not true because we're gonna beat him by a lot more. Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Lance is the best.
Lance is awesome. Oh man, he's gonna destroy those guys. Oh
Man, what a town hero. He's gonna go on and do great things.
what a town hero.
Hopefully he doesn't get hurt.
Pray to God he doesn't get hurt.
No, we're at this barbecue scene, guys, and like this is where this movie is just so sad to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's not. It's meant to be kind of funny. I think when this movie came out, like it's funny. Like like he's gonna hit his dad in the face with this ball, and they're all like kind of fighting over their kids starting.
And listen to the accents that are way over the top.
Oh wow!
That dad, like Lance's dad, is.
If we were on a train to go punch a face, I'm on board.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the voice as much as the face.
And a lot of the camera angles on him at the barbecue are like right up in his face. He's like, "Yeah, Lance is gonna win."
He's like, a southern accent. He's like this.
Yeah.
His jaw is taking over his accent.
Mox, what do you think? You think you're better than my boy? Stop, dude.
And like, I know we're skipping ahead a little bit, but when he does get hurt, I laughed my fucking ass off, and he's like, "Lord, don't do this to me."
but then they show Mox's dad going, "Yeah, fuck yeah,
all right.
I don't give a shit that boy's life is ruined because now my kid gets to get in.
Now
Now people are gonna be patting me on the back at the bar in the bowling alley."
Now it's my turn for my retirement plan to start playing.
Now maybe my wife will sleep with me.
Oh, I can see myself on the couch right now.
Oh yeah.
No, but this is just so sad. Like all the dads like doing that. I never want to be that way. I never want to be somebody that is living vicariously through my children. Like I want my kids to have so much success, and I will invest myself in making sure that they like can do it. And I will support them. I will go to every game, and if they want to like go out in the yard and like kick the ball around, like, okay, that's cool. But I'm never going to be that guy. And I'm putting this on tape so I can listen to this again, that like, I'm not going to make it my life. That their life, my life.
I won't make it my life.
I don't want your life. My laugh? What do you want? What do you want?
What?
My life.
No, you're right, man. Like it's one of those things that honestly, I've started to feel myself like go almost the opposite way.
Yeah, like uninterested.
Where I'm just gonna be like, let's do it. Let's do whatever you want. In fact, don't play with that guitar. Don't play with that guitar because it's not going to lead you anywhere.
No.
Okay?
Only disappointment in your life.
Yep,
Kid.
that's it.
It won't even get you ladies.
No. You think it will.
You think it will. You need to wear many scarves for that.
Yeah.
You need to be like Dave Navarro.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's false idols, man. It's false idols. Okay,
Which then makes him get it and pick it up. And
exactly, and that's the problem. Is it's like going to be this reverse psychology. Shit. And so what I need to do is start saying like, hey, worst thing in your thing, you don't want to become like an accountant. Okay.
you don't want a job that's going to be secure for the rest of your life.
No.
That's boring.
No way, dude. Don't go into finance. That shit, that'll ruin you.
Ooh.
I'll prove you wrong, Dad.
Oh, you know what you should really do? Start a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I have all the gear.
Yeah.
We could do it together.
Look, it's like I'm pulling out a roadcaster. See?
Look at these buttons. You can program your own samples in there.
Hey guys, if he's back.
You're gonna want to not take this pop filter off because that thing went through. That's got a lot of mileage on it. I'm telling you, that's a famous pop filter. Right there.
Yep. Yeah.
Still good. See,
man, look at all the pops it's providing protection from. All right.
Good to see Jesse Plemons here hanging out, his younger brother that has no other role in the movie, but that's got to be one of his first roles.
it has to be. Yeah, I was shocked. I didn't know he started acting this young at all.
Yeah, and he's just there. He's like, throw the ball.
Dude, they are all just so about this moment of like of competition between these two. It's Mox's dad is just, dude, you deserve this, man.
Yep.
You deserve this in spades. And I kind of hate you for it, so.
Yeah, I mean, like we get to this other football game too, where he does get hurt, and I really like they put Mox in, and he does that huge pass to get like the game-winning touchdown, and I love his reaction. He's like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
He's
Or
standing
no,
in the end zone.
he takes it in, right?
I can't. I think he might score the touchdown.
Yeah, he gets the
Everybody
touchdown.
cheers with him,
He's
and
like,
then
"Holy shit!" Like,
he
fucking worked.
He looked at the crowd and he's like, "This is actually pretty fun. Actually, kind of like this."
Yeah, well, because isn't this where it already starts out where he's kind of running plays or because he doesn't know the play.
In practice, he does a fake like practice a 5 receiver set that he tries to run in practice. And no, we're not doing that.
Basically tries to run the annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yes.
And that's...
And then he can't hear the play in this game, so he just calls some random thing like that play or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what play they're trying to call, so he just runs his own. So it starts this idea of him being or not doing what Coach Kilmer wants him to do.
Because we're a running team.
We do what I say. I win the games around here because of my choices.
I did notice something weird too. This is not how it works. Everybody's name is on the back of their jersey, like their last name, but then of course the funny fat guy gets Billy Bob on the back of his jersey, not Johnson or whatever,
Right.
Or Thornton, Billy Bob Thornton.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that's good. That's
or
good.
whatever. That's not how that works. You can't just have a nickname on the back of your high school jersey. And also, Tweeter, we're unsure if this is his real name or not because the credits only say like their name. It says like Tweeter and it says Marshall. So we don't know if Tweeter's a nickname at all, but it's spelled on his jersey with a T. Tweeter. And the credits say Tweeter. So that's really, really good work there, guys.
Good stuff.
Good work. We don't
Consistency is
care.
key.
Due diligence is fantastic.
For the birds.
But yeah, no, I can't imagine Kilmer as that like staunch headed coach would allow Billy Bob just to be Billy Bob. It would be his last name.
I know, right? The way that he flips around and just becomes, I don't know. After the first game, he's like, it's all about Billy Bob, and he's like, this boy's got enough. He's got enough for all of us, like in this team, right? Like after they win the game, and then it comes back around, and the way he's just treating Billy Bob now afterwards, after he passes out
In class.
passes out in class. Then he says he comes in, and the coach comes into the nurse's office and then talks him in essentially to playing the game. And then he passes out again on the field and then blames him on it. It's like, this is
terrible.
This is like the ultimate piece of shit mentality to do to kids like that.
Especially because he not only did that, Coach Kilmer, but then he's mad that they won the game because it wasn't the play that he called.
Correct.
Yeah. That's just ridiculous.
And then you have to realize that they're still giving him the credit. The announcers even say, Kilmer just finds a way again with his guys, even in the backup. It's like, dude, he is such it's like this deep, weird narcissism that it has to be his way or the highway. It's like he doesn't even want to win, so that way he can be upset because it wasn't his call.
Ooh, that's a good.
He would just rather
He'd rather
lost.
lose and blame it on the players,
Right. Then
win on a call that he didn't make.
Then win and give that to the players.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
so
like that
crazy.
at all. Oh, we do got to talk about Paul Walker a little bit. This is an interesting time for him because from 98 to 2000, this is when he kind of made his name. He was Meet the Deedles, She's All That, Pleasantville, Varsity Blues, The Skulls. Mm-hmm. We got to do The Skulls sometime. Yeah, we got to do The Skulls. And then in 2001, Fast and the Furious. So this is your immediate rise to fame. He's there. This movie's like just pushing him over the edge of
Where was Joyride in that?
Joyride's like 2002.
Okay.
So it was, immediately after he's like we need Paul Walker. We need Paul Walker. I generally have that thought every time I see him in a movie. I'm like, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
100%. Sucks when you lose talented people like that at such a young age.
It really, one of my favorite performances of him is Running Scared.
Oh God.
I love that movie.
That's going to have to be probably like a brunch episode because I don't think...
Let's just
Let's just line it up because if you haven't seen Running Scared with Paul Walker, it's probably one of the best movies.
Yeah, he's really good in it. It's got to do with hockey. There's hockey in there. Like it's a crazy ass movie. But
I will randomly seek that movie out.
Yep.
Just out of the blue, I'll just see if I can find it on streaming. I'm like, oh,
dude,
yes.
Now that we're talking about it, I'm gonna watch tonight.
Yeah, I know.
It's in my brain now. But yeah, you're right, man. I totally feel the same way. Like I wouldn't even say, and this is not like a detriment to him. I wouldn't even say he's like a great actor, but I love seeing him in movies.
Yeah.
And like the characters he plays, he absolutely pulls off.
Yes.
And I mean, like Running Scared, I think he actually gives a good performance.
I think that is an amazing performance.
He doesn't do much in this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he is injured.
Yeah.
And it's early for him, but yeah, I totally agree with you. It's such a shame.
Yep. And obviously, it's a bummer for Lance. His girlfriend's moving on pretty quickly.
Yeah.
This is her. Who's that actress that plays
Allie Larder?
Allie Larder. This was her first role. First movie ever. And she changes in the car, comes on to Mox real quick. Good on you, Mox, for letting that go.
I was when this happened, I was like, oh, just gonna fuck the other starting quarterback now. That's just straight to it. But then like her explanation later is actually like I was like, wow, this script is kind of all right.
It has some depth to it.
Yeah.
Well, let's actually get to that here.
Okay.
Scene 3. So after visiting Lance in the hospital, Mox takes Lance's girlfriend Darcy to a party where Tweeter assaults an officer and steals a cop car. The Coyotes go on the road and win another game due to Mox's skills. After the game, Mox goes to Darcy's house for a sweet surprise. I wrote that apparently.
Yeah.
This pisses off his girlfriend Jules. Yeah. I mean, this is where you're getting to meet Darcy quite a bit here.
Yeah.
You meet Darcy as and it comes off as she very much does love Lance or whatnot. Then you just see this kind of very quick turnaround in the car, and the whole sweet surprise. Let's work it backwards since we're on the topic. It's the whipped cream bikini, and then you
and time out. You guys have obviously seen this scene or like heard about this scene, having not seen this movie, right?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah. The only reason
do they parody it?
I have
Okay.
now seen this scene like 13 times.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie once.
Yes. Okay. Gotcha. I'm doing research, honey. I gotta go.
Oh,
back.
wait! I gotta backtrack just a
Oh,
second.
that
What
looks like shaving cream
Oh, is
instead
that
of whipped
actual
cream.
special effects on there? What is
Wait.
that CGI?
Wait a
See,
second.
there
here.
is a cherry or there's not a cherry.
See
Oh,
if
there's not a cherry. Okay, that tells me everything I need to know. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's interesting. Oh yeah. Sorry. No. But they do spoof it in.
I figured.
Not
so
another teen movie.
So when it came up, you went, "Oh, okay."
But then it's a guy, and he says, "It's like she says, I don't like Sundays." He's like, "Oh, it's not a Sunday, it's a banana split." And then it's like you don't know why until he turns around and he's got a banana between his cheeks.
Gotcha.
And you're just like, "That's amazing." So, but in this regard, that what you're talking about, Sean, after this whole thing, right? And Mox plays this down. Somehow he plays this down, and
Somehow
he says, she says, "Well, he was my ticket out of here.
Yeah.
Like otherwise he's gonna stay here and be like the general manager of like Walmart and like coach."
which is not admirable. You don't want that.
No.
Apparently you don't want that. And so and coach Little League and like
No, don't do that.
that's
either.
it. Don't do that. Don't try to set a good example for kids. You don't want that, guys.
Just be selfish.
Yeah.
That's it.
This is what you need.
You know,
Okay.
don't lead the quiet life. No, quiet life is not for anybody.
It's one of those things where it's kind of heartbreaking on both sides because she is just using anyone to get out of town, but at
Yeah.
the same time, she doesn't. What's sad about it is she doesn't see any other option.
Yeah.
But that's the shitty part about it. She lives in this really nice house. Her parents are well off. They belong to a gun club that they go hang out at. She has money. And it's sad that she doesn't realize that like she can do whatever she wants. That she thinks she has to have a boyfriend, a famous boyfriend that's going to college.
It's got to be like maybe the mom did kind of this.
Oh,
You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm speculating, like obviously, but it was a nice surprise to see this. I'm like, I truly didn't see it coming. I thought it was just going to be this like MTV movie where she just likes to fuck.
Yeah,
and like that's fine. But no, there's a lot of real depth to her, and I really was pleasantly surprised by that.
But then she basically disappears.
Yeah, true.
Her purpose in the movie.
She got out. She realized,
No, her purpose in the movie's over. She needed to show the whipped cream bikini and make you sad, and then he could put a jacket over her, and then now we don't need her.
Yeah.
By the way, she's not really setting herself up for success when her parents get home. She sits down, the whipped cream's gonna get all over the damn thing. It's all over that blanket. You know what I mean? Dead giveaways here. It's like, why is there whipped cream in the shape of tits all over this blanket?
The dad comes home and says that, and mom's like, "Honey, I got it." And she's like, "Did you do the
Did you
whipped
do
cream?
the trick?
Did you do the trick?
Did it work?
Did it work? It didn't work. Well, it always worked with me. Something's wrong with you.
Something's wrong with
Something
you.
Me, it's always me, mom.
Mom taught her. The whipped cream
Did
trick.
you use maraschino cherries or Luxardo? What did you use?
Son of a bitch! I taught you right.
I told you.
Well, hey, we're on the topic. Porn titles.
Oh yeah.
It's fart shitty blues. Like
Fart shitty pubes.
Fart shitty blue balls.
Yeah.
So Varsity Blue Balls is one that I saw, or maybe Varsity Blows.
Varsity Blues.
Yeah,
Nice.
dude.
But unfortunately, you can't really find. It's harder than you think to find the porn parody name for movies.
I'm gonna get into it.
Just type in your favorite movie right now with porn name movie parody, and you're gonna have to sift through a lot of stuff. I'm just saying. I'm gonna need a new computer when our podcasting days are over.
Oh no, yeah,
That's his fourth one. All right.
I know. God.
Well, and to be fair, this movie is a pretty it's sex fueled movie, right? You've got this scene, and then you've got Tweeter stealing a cop car, which obviously there's no repercussions for this whatsoever.
No.
And then you've got at least 18-year-old Tweeter naked in a cop car driving around town with sophomore naked girls.
Seem a little younger than him.
Seemed like that. I believe they even said maybe something along the lines of sophomores. So it's just this is a very you can understand the culture of the 90s the late 90s a little bit more. Like Woodstock, you start to understand the white male mentality a little bit more when you start seeing a lot of movies. It's like, well, you get what you want. You can get whatever you want.
I'm the football player.
You're a football player.
I
You
get
can
pussy.
You get pussy. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know.
owed this.
Even like later on when Tweeter's like talking about, oh, dude, a Percocet, 2 Vicodin, and a couple beers, and the panties drop. Like,
Right.
You're like,
Yeah. Damn, dude.
What?
huh?
That's bad. That's bad advice.
It's
That's-
just terrible advice,
That's
man.
criminal stuff.
Now we're
that's a lawsuit on your hands. No, don't worry. He plays football.
he plays football.
okay.
It's cool.
Oh man. The whole thing of him just being naked in that cop car too is also really funny. I just like to think he's just probably before he returned that cop car, he probably shit in it somewhere.
I actually
and wiped his ass on the seat.
Perhaps twice.
Yeah.
I actually like to picture. I mean, this is dating me quite a bit, but some of these old cop cars and old vehicles in general didn't have bucket seats, like individual bucket seats. They would just be a bench.
Yeah.
I like to picture that when he go around a curve, he go like his bare ass just sliding down the
His
seats.
swass.
Yeah. Oh no.
He didn't shower after his football game. You know this.
No, of course not.
Worse than a drum throne. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna start talking. I'm gonna start talking about Mox's girlfriend here now, Amy Smart.
Amy Smart. We haven't talked about it
Her
yet.
name is Jules.
Jules. Well, Jules, Amy Smart. This is the first time that I'm like, they're really downplaying her a lot in this.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's like he has that interview after that second game or whatever, and it's like, what's it like to finally be out of Lance Burton's shadow? And like,
That's a great interview.
and really show the world what you got. And he's just like, oh geez, and he's being very humble about it and everything.
is.
And then she's just like, what? You're enjoying this, aren't you? It's like, well, yeah.
No
Like,
shit.
why wouldn't I enjoy this? Are you telling me not to enjoy this?
She's like, you're referring to yourself as one man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm giving a lot of kudos and like credit to my team,
But I'm just one man.
and like because I'm trying to give the credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
Like we're all coming together, and and I also said something really nice about Lance. No one could do what Lance does, but I'm just happy to be able to keep this going, and my team is here to support me. And then she's just like, oh, how fucking dare you piece of shit.
What about Kurt?
Yeah.
Who's Kurt Vonnegut?
Kurt Vonnegut. You didn't mention him at all. You're just like, what?
You didn't say anything about Slaughterhouse-Five.
God.
It's your favorite.
I bought that for you.
It's like, and like the fact that I just wanted him to at some point be like when at the Top Notch, right? She's like out there. It's like, oh, you haven't seen her whipped cream bikini, and he's just like, no. He should have been like, yeah, and I turned it down, for you. What the heck?
To be fair, that was a pretty passionate on the mouth kiss right in front of her.
That's a good point.
It was like, why? Like we're out of this. We should be scot-free.
We actually, at this point, we're good because we did not have sex. But now I just felt your tender lips on my lips.
We're just friends. We're just a little closer now.
And now I kind of regret my decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't even just like a friend kiss.
No.
It was like a check you later.
See you later. Check you later.
Well, you can't, Sean. You can't pass this up by that exact Top Notch. By the way, is the one they filmed in Dazed and Confused.
Yeah,
It's the one.
That's so important.
So
'Cause
special.
Apparently, we're talking about Dazed and Confused more in this movie review than we are. Varsity Blues. Well,
it's a movie.
if you're talking high school football movies,
It's like an awesome movie.
it's like a really good one.
You've been to Top Notch, AJ.
I have been to Top Notch. It's great.
Top
great.
knot?
Oh, it's top notch.
Wow.
That's what we're gonna call it.
That's what we're gonna call it. No, yeah, with their saw the paddles. Saw the actual. They have. They have some of the actual paddles there. They've got some, and you can get merch there. You can get. It's pretty good, and it was a tasty burger.
So this is the point where if we are rewriting this is the point where when she's like, "Hey, everybody, Mox is here. Your star quarterback. He's here. He's ready to talk to you." And everybody starts zombieing up to him. This is when the old guy goes, "This arm about ready to throw for 2,000 yards." That's when we need it. Can my wife bang you?
Yeah.
She's old, but she's still cool.
Will you seed my wife? Like, so for the future. For the seed.
That's how we talk back in the
For the
aughts.
future.
All right.
Put your seed in my wife, please. Logan just walked in.
Let's move. You got anything else on scene 3?
Well, they hit the strip club, right? In this.
This is coming up. Right
Okay,
now.
cool.
Scene 4. Max takes his teammates out for a long night of drinking at the strip club. The team loses their next game badly. It's blamed on Billy Bob, which sends him off the deep end. Max comes to his rescue. Coach Kilmer blackmails Mox into finishing the season strong. My O's look like A's sometimes, so nice. Max.
You're the ones
his
you
name's
type, huh?
his name's Mox.
Dude, I have to try and do this, but when she does have the whipped cream bikini or whatever, he sits her down, puts his jacket over or whatever. He's like, "No, you're smart. You're gonna get out of here." I just wanted to be like, "You're smart. You're gonna get. You'll get out of here.
Get out of here.
It's
Just
fine.
Do this again to the right guy, and you'll get out of here.
He even says, it's like, I can't believe it didn't work. It always works for me. Like, you know, it's a funny thing. You can tell he's like a stand-up guy who is also just trying to figure this out. And he's like, that walking around that he's doing, he's like, and when he goes to Jules's window and everything, and she's still just like,
Fuck you, jerk."
yeah, I bet you're having fun being a star and finally like living up to your potential, you dick.
But then by the final game, she's like, "I love you.
Yeah.
I'm here to cheer you on." That never gets sorted out. At all.
No, it doesn't.
When you do have this practice moment, we talked about kind of that Percocet Vicodin line that Tweeter says. That's maybe one of the hardest I laughed in this movie, though, is when everybody leaves and Tweeter's like putting his cup in and he goes,
Oh yeah.
"The fuck is that?" He's looking at his dick. Like that's not funny, but that's really funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
A high school student finding out what STDs are. He doesn't pay attention in sex ed.
No,
obviously.
he doesn't.
Only pays attention to the hot teacher, which
Well,
they see in the
we're
strip
there.
club.
We're here.
I like this, but like like
Oh, good.
what's the one guy he gets violently motorboated.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like
Damn.
Please tell me that was on camera. Were you zoomed into Sean, please?
Oh my God.
it was just like
I know.
like it was like breaking his fucking nose.
Yeah.
Also, where the fuck did Lance come from?
Wait, oh,
Lance
yeah.
is just there, and like it's like we get establishing shots, and then we get motorboat, and then we get like, and then Lance is like, I remember that.
guys, remember me?
Hey guys, remember I'm back. So
I don't care who you are, where you are, how important you are. You are not able to get on stage and dance at a
Yes.
strip club and have people like it.
You will be fucking
and
killed.
You will be destroyed. And
Yeah.
I don't care. They're like, "You killed Billy Bob. He's a star guy on the team." And they're like, he got up on
He
stage and they're like,
assaulted
"Oh,
a woman
shit.
doing her job.
Oh my God, he got up on stage and he touched her. Oh shit. Okay, well then,
Jesus.
hey, we're sorry, man. We're sorry we'll get rid of the body. Like, we're really sorry about that. Like,
No,
you
yeah.
just, there's no world that this exists.
No.
That you can get up on stage at a strip club.
a bouncer comes back over. It says, "Have a beer," hands it to him, and then just says very gently and politely, "Come on, man. Hey, come on over.
It's okay.
Come on over here.
Don't worry, we're gonna bring the next dancer
Yeah.
out, and she's gonna dance to the most danced to song of all time in a strip club.
Yeah.
Hot for teacher.
Hot
And
for
it's great
teacher.
because she is actually a teacher, and she's not trying to hide that at all.
No. I like that it becomes that moment. She very easily could have like gone off stage and been like, "Oh shit." And they're like pointing and laughing and like stoked on this. But
As they should be.
as they should be. But then she just rolls with it and just puts on a great show for all of them.
And then hangs out.
And then
with
hangs
them.
out with them afterwards. And we're not going to talk about this,
Dude.
because it's everyone else would just be like, all the dads probably just be like, nice. All right.
I remember when she gave us lap dances.
Yeah.
At the end, doesn't she like run into him and she says like we all made a pact not to say anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
High schoolers,
Yeah.
high school
right.
men.
Four or five of them. Yeah, they are all going to keep their mouths shut.
The entire school currently knows about this within seconds of them leaving, and they don't even have cell phones.
Nope. It's done. It's all done.
And as a school, I mean, you know, she's pretty attractive and drives a BMW. You know,
Right.
you're not paying much for her to teach sex ed.
Nope.
You gotta look in a little deeper to see where this money's coming from.
Yeah. What Mox even says, pretty nice car for a teacher's salary.
Yeah, well.
It's like, wow.
Teacher salary is not that great.
Well, that
so-
pays off later.
Yeah, it does.
But this is an absolutely ridiculous thing. Like to think that Mox is supposed to be a really smart guy and that he's going to lead his team to victory. And he has that conversation with, like, I think it's Maxwell or whatever, the running back.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let's just inject some racism here real quick, that Coach Kilmer's also a racist. Let's make sure to add that in here real quick. We didn't get a sniff of that earlier, but now we got to talk about it. Oh, don't worry. Tonight I'm going to get you some touchdowns. But first, we're going to go to a strip club. We're going to stay up all night and get hammered.
Absolutely.
You've all been there at one point in your life where you've been inside of a dark bar for multiple hours, and you've walked outside and the doors opened and the light has, like, it makes you feel like you're on another planet.
As I stepped out into the light of the...
But like this is a terrible idea for Mox to do this the night of a game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like it makes no
because
sense that he wanted to do this.
and
Team bonding.
I've been having some trouble like with this timeline of this particular part, because it's like they go in at night. So are they playing games on like Saturdays
Whatever.
or something?
Let's call it a Friday night. So they go in. Yeah. Normally high school football's on Friday.
It's on Fridays.
So then they should have then gone to school that day.
Right. And so
Which maybe they did and made it worse.
and that's what I mean. It's like so let's say based on that, the normalcy, they did this on a Thursday. Worst case scenario, then they woke up and they decided not to go to school or something. And then it's like, dude, when you're that age, you bounce back so damn quick.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Like they could have gone home, gone to sleep for like, I don't know, like 3 hours and woken up and been like, I feel like $1 million. And that would have been fine.
Or those were the days when you could actually fall asleep and then not move for like 13 hours.
13 hours.
And
yeah.
just be like, oh shit, it's 7 p.m. Perfect.
Oh,
Time to get
right.
down to the stadium.
Yep.
I'll get going.
Game day.
Here's my day starting.
Yep. That's it. Like, I feel like that's the thing. But what I couldn't figure out too about this was Mox put this all together, but was this planned to a degree to like that they would be shitty and like lose the game or something?
I don't gather that at all.
No.
I think he is a combination of like he doesn't really give a fuck about all of this too much, but he does like winning, and so he is kind of enjoying this
Yeah.
like rock star lifestyle, I guess. But I do think that he's just like, well, we're gonna go have fun, and then we'll play a game, see how it goes.
You know,
He doesn't really
there's
give.
22 starters on a team. It's only 4 of us.
Yeah.
And one of them's got a broken leg, can't play anyway. The rest of the team will do fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Come on.
And then you got John Voight who comes. You just blew my perfect season. It's just freaking out about it.
And then having the audacity to go back in time to blame it all on Billy Bob.
on
at
Billy
this
Bob.
point.
Yeah.
This is harsh. This is really harsh for Billy Bob to have to endure this.
You big fat blubbering babies, get out of my locker room. Like, kicks him out of the locker room. Like, you watch this happen, and like this is where it starts to get like really brutal, almost like the psych going on in this in this scene, and then we see like it kind of pushes Billy Bob over the deep end.
Yeah.
You know, that it gets really dark really fast.
He wakes up and his pig got dropped off. And it's like that's the universe. It's his identity. This pig,
Yeah.
he freaking like loves this thing, and now he's dropping him off, saying you'll know what to do with him. It's like that is.
You know how to
dark.
take care of him.
This is real dark, and him being out on the field like that. The two scenes I remembered most about this were this scene and the whipped cream scene. Like those felt like the most like memorable, not memorable, but just kind of iconic.
You know,
Yeah.
this
Bags of sand. No, come on, man. I'm trying to have a serious moment.
I know.
No. This is like the most heartfelt scene of the movie.
Yeah.
and it's a little too like, you know, I'll compare this movie later on in our modern day reviews to some other ones, but it's like this is a very serious and heartfelt moment, but it's just over real quick. It's
Yeah.
just like, come on, man, we're just gonna play one more game. Okay.
it's like, no, you should be not playing ever
Yes.
again in your life.
Yeah, it's like we need to be done with this. Like the moments of him. By the way, Mox walking out there to him while he's literally firing off rounds, super bold, super bold. Here we are. Shotguns ain't nothing new. But him walking out there and like shooting those trophies and like him talking about like the trophies and like, well, yeah, remember we were kids, we were all having fun. He's like, I wasn't having fun, like because it was always you're too fat, you know, you're too slow, you need to get better. Like it was always, you know, everyone else was having fun. He was getting ridden to, you know, this point.
Yeah.
And that's like the really dark part of it all.
Well, and Kilmer is threatening, like straight up threatening Mox at this point. That if you don't do what I tell you, like I know people, and like you being accepted into Brown is not gonna happen. Like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Yeah.
The actual villain, like I didn't know how to feel about this, to be honest.
It's pretty bad.
It is like almost like a actual action movie villain.
Yeah.
Like that sort of nefarious kind of plan that he has.
Blackmail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, wow, okay, really, a high school movie doing this? Like, but I mean, it worked a little bit for me just because he is unhinged and it makes you hate him a lot.
Yeah, it's weird because Kilmer is basically creating this evil supervillain persona to force Mox into playing, and then Mox is like, "Hey, Billy Bob, I know you almost committed suicide. You've got some serious emotional trauma, a current concussion, and CTE. I know you're really mad at the coach about making you play, but I need you to play another game."
Hey, we play.
Yeah, man, for you. Yep.
Yeah, like I need you to play one more game, and all of your symptoms will be gone during this game.
This game is the one that matters.
This is the one that matters, so you'll be fine. But later on in life, it might not go so well.
Yeah,
but
even
that's,
like tomorrow,
that's
you might
Coach
be dead.
Kilmer's fault, really. So
Yeah, that's not me. That's Kilmer. So the idea of the I think that's the other very dark part of this, obviously, is every time that door closes with the athletic medicine guy.
Yep.
You know,
that guy's at fault too, by the way.
Oh, 100%. I mean, think about that. If he's literally just what are we assuming, like basically putting a steroid into a joint or leg or something,
It's something.
like just so they don't feel that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I can imagine that it really is, because you have Wendell, who's his leg, obviously Lance's leg.
Yep.
Billy Bob was the same way. Yeah, it's that's another like really dark thing that's going on, obviously behind closed doors. That I don't know. I'm glad that never happened to me.
You got your bad knees.
I had my bad
They
knees.
just didn't care about you enough to give you injections.
I
so you
wasn't
keep
good enough.
playing.
Oh, it's either that or maybe they just didn't feel like doing that to 8th graders. Maybe that was it.
Yeah. Well, it's because you didn't live in Texas.
Yeah.
All right, final scene. In the district title game, star running back is injured. Coach Kilmer insists he get an injection in his knees to be able to continue. The team refuses to play unless Coach Kilmer leaves. He does, and Lance takes over as coach to help them win the game.
I think I do want to give the, like I said in the kind of breakdown and making of this, how they kind of plotted out plays and they plotted out their blocking of how they're going to do the camera. I really do think that the football photography is really good.
The look of it is good.
Yeah.
The what they capture is good, but I think it's clear to me that this is a football movie that was made by people that don't know how to play football.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of like, here's a couple, there's a lot of rules that, first of all, Billy Bob's false start that injures Lance.
I mean, yeah.
That's a literal false start where the play is blown dead. You know, so like that, anyone watching it as a football fan's like, well, that he should have never got hit.
Yeah.
So, and then also there's intentional grounding two times that Mox decides to hit someone on the sideline with a ball to stop the clock. Intentional grounding. You can't do that. And like even this final play, this hook and ladder to Billy Bob, Tweeter catches it and then like throws the ball 50 feet in the air for Billy Bob to then wait for it to land. And then he catches it and he goes, what do I do? And they're like, run. And he's like, okay. It's not like a football movie to me.
Yeah.
But the visual shots, the action of it are awesome.
Even the hits too. I'm like, damn.
They're big time, man. You're absolutely right.
They do look like good hits, but yeah, the rules as far as football goes is a little skated on. But.
They like the only way to know, it's sort of like Top Gun Maverick, where that this other fighter pilots are bad because they have black masks on. This is so dumb. The way that you're supposed to know that this other team's so good and badass is that they do touchdown dances.
They're always like
it.
slick. You know, like the nondescript bad guys of the movie are always like black helmets or like slick uniforms, and then the other ones are like ragged and tatted.
Yeah,
dude. And when we score a touchdown, we do these like cool dances, and on the sideline, we're kind of going like, "Come on!" There's nothing to suggest this other team is good and badass other than them doing that. And I think that's a non-football person being like, "Yeah, I think like the really good teams are kind of showboaty." I think.
Yeah.
So I think they'll just like do a dance or something.
And then the real humble ones, they'll just get the touchdown.
Yeah.
Go to the next play.
What do bad guys generally have in common? Oh, ego. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that. By the way, can we just talk about the other football teams at any point in this? Can we just talk about the fact that they've had to deal with this, like the Coyotes, like for how many years, and Coach Kilmer, like for literally like 28 years or something of playing this
winning
game,
the division,
of
like
winning
every
the
year.
division, and they're just like, God, these guys are such fucking assholes. They're so pretentious. They think they're so good.
Did you hear that guy Tweeter stole a cop car and nothing happened?
Dude, nothing happened to him.
What?
Imagine if I did that.
They just
We'd be screwed,
What are
dude.
you done for?
let them get away with everything. They gave Kilmer the key to the city. Like the guy who's just basically running free reign throughout this side of the state. Like it's obnoxious. In every single other team's mind, these are the bad guys.
Yes.
That's it. Done.
Dude, they make their women like have whipped cream bikinis.
Yeah.
They do it. They like willingly do it.
They're like really degrading of women and racist as fuck.
Sounds like they're kind of racist too, man. I mean, that's how stuff. They got to put that stuff behind them. Ugh.
We're just trying to win games over here, man.
Oh, wait. Do you hear that? My Hero's playing. Time to get on the field.
Oh, right on.
Come on.
There goes my hero.
Man, Lance is so cool, dude.
Man. Fuck.
Dude,
Remember Lance? He was good.
how cliche is the use of My Hero, man? And they play it twice.
Yeah.
They play it 2 separate times.
Dude, the rolling out to that to that song, and then like the big pass, and oh my gosh. You know what? It works for me though, because it really feels dire.
Yes.
It really does.
And like this movie feels of its time, and I really do appreciate it like that as well. Like this is a 99 movie, like bold, underlined, underscored. Yeah, like this. I love that this movie exists in the 90s, and I can go back to it and watch it because I like that about it. But
90s with a capital
I mean,
N.
listen to these movies that were in 99. She's All That, 10 Things I Hate About You, Varsity Blues, American Pie, Cruel Intentions. It was like the era of
yeah.
Not Another Teen Movie. Like this, all these movies of these high school like trials and tribulations of Go. Remember, did we ever talk about that? Like there's just so many of them that you just can't deny. And that's why I like this era so much. It's so bad, but it reminds me of like, that's when I was in high school in this era. So like, it feels so familiar to me.
Yeah.
Somehow
It feels so familiar.
somehow all these movies that you're right, it is its own era of this type of movie. And again, that's why Not Another Teen Movie spoofed it incredibly well.
Yep.
It was one of the few like last ones that I think of the spoof jump or whatever at that point in time that really did a good job of doing it. I mean, brilliantly. But it was its own era, and somehow through honestly not capturing it very well at all, it somehow still captured some vibes for you really well.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, high school wasn't like that at all for me. But I
Kinda
know
was.
but it reminds me of high school a lot.
It
Like,
was that ridiculous
it was
sometimes.
Yeah, it was. There was some ridiculous points that I don't know how we got away with that, or whatever it might have been. Though, yeah, some house parties were kind of weird. I don't know how we got away with that. Like, how did that shit happen? They did. They captured it without capturing it. I don't know. It's very strange. I do want to at least make a point of the where they finally stand up to Kilmer, because I think that's a pretty powerful moment.
Oh, it is.
And I think it's that mob mentality and him getting pushed out of that room, and it's like it's almost like watching his downfall, his internal brain downfall of like,
Yeah.
all right, well, I'm going back out there, so let's go, and he just kind of goes back to his office. You know what I mean? He never shows his face again. I thought that was interesting. He didn't really have. There wasn't any final comeback of Kilmer.
Yeah, he's just kind of out.
I feel like it could have happened that way. There could have been an altercation on the field, and the dads finally stepped up.
Yeah, they
Right.
could
You
have.
know?
Oh, they could have done that.
Like that kind of a thing.
Because
but-
keep in mind, what's going to happen here is that the players are going to try to explain what happened with Coach Kilmer, because after the game they're going to be like, where did he go? He never came out. And they're going to try to explain what he's done, and people are going to be like, nah, I don't think he did that.
Yeah, but
Coach Kilmer?
10 championships.
yeah, but he's like, really, who's going to coach? Lance? Lance isn't even out of high school
Lance
yet.
wants to coach. It's like, oh, you mean the star quarterback? Let's give him a shot.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
He's charming and handsome, but we all know he's really dumb.
Next season they go like 2-10. And it's like, but thank God Lance is there to just give everyone a good time.
Lance the pants.
Isn't
Make everyone
Lance the
feel
best?
good. Yeah, Lance is the best.
God, I love Lance.
Fuck, I love that guy. He's good. God, Lance, man. Ugh. Lance.
Well, before we close it up, though, I forgot to mention the Jarrett Layoff Confused Breakfast actor database. We were talking about her earlier. Amy Smart. This is her fourth movie we've done. She's leading the pack of anybody in this movie, so it's nice to have her moving up the charts.
Good for her. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
Big
we'll
fans.
have what's the Butterfly Effect? Let's do that awesome movie.
Love that.
Let's do that really
I
feel
can't
good.
wait.
Feel good movie, that one.
Yeah.
I have been thinking about that movie a lot.
I have
lately.
two.
You guys,
Should we do it?
Guys, so have I.
What? Fucking what, dude?
Oh, man, dude. Telling you. Thank God Amy Smart, she finally comes around and just says, oh, yeah, now I love it because you won the championship or something.
I get it.
Now I
Now
understand.
we're going to Brown.
Brown. Let's go.
Well, we've dissected Varsity Blues with a modern eye. Time to give it our modern day ratings. AJ, you're up first.
It's a fun movie. I'm not
It's
going to lie.
fun.
It's fun. It's fun. But what do we say about fun movies around here? It's like, it also has to come back to how often do I really want to like revisit this movie? And I honestly, I want to revisit it about as much as many of the teen movies. And so I think about the movies of the era as we kind of, put together at the very end there, Mike, of all these teen movies that in this late 90s, early 2000s that came out. And American Pie or somewhere like that, or one that I do not mind like rewatching and enjoying is like 10 Things I Hate About You. There are good ones, there are bad ones. I think this one just falls right in the middle. So that being said, I think some of the performances are good. I think the cast is stellar. I mean, the casting is awesome, even though that some of the acting isn't the greatest. And it really gives us some great insight into Texas football. It doesn't. So I will say this. Fun movie. Don't need to rewatch it really that much. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 5 5.8.
5.8 for age. Sean, what about you, man?
Yeah, I kind of agree with AJ there. I think I like talking about it more than I did watching it. I don't think I will ever kind of rewatch this on my own ever. Maybe if it's on TV. It sounds like I didn't like it. It's fun. It's a fun movie. I liked watching it. I liked just having time fly by as scenes hit my eyeballs. I think the performances are pretty good. I was kind of shocked of how clever the script was in certain points, and I did like the football photography a lot. However, it's rewatchable factor. It's probably going to be just a 5.8 for me.
5.8 time with the AJ. Yeah, I mean, it's great to know that you guys got to watch it. That's what I love about this show is how many times it forces us to finally hit play on movies, that are in the classicness of the era. And I do really much like this movie. I love any high school movie just injected in my veins, but there are movies that have just done it better. Totally. For my mind, Dazed and Confused is like the exact same movie as this. It's this coming of age, but like I don't want your life like that guy, but Dazed and Confused just does it so much better. And for me, you remember the Titans. Friday Night Lights is still my favorite high school movie that tackles this subject of like
tackles.
Your parents want it more than you do, but you still want it, and like it's still your best friends, and you want to go to war with them, but like life's hard, There's so many other movies that do it better, but still, it's a classic. This is a classic movie. It's a 5.7 for me. Josh Miller, executive producer, says, after giving this the old Confused Breakfast treatment, I still really enjoy the movie. It's certainly not as good as when I first watched it. Looking more critically, it's got some significant plot holes. The acting is very average. Some of the Texas accents are pretty bad, but it did get some things right. Most of the football shots are done very well, but I will say it's definitely a teen young adult drama with a bit of football in it. Football is easily as big as big in Texas as they portray it. Some of the small town fields here make my high school field look like shit. You guys should look up some of the big stadiums down here. Barry Center in Cypress has a convention center and cost $80 million to build in 2006. Wow. Legacy Stadium in Katy cost $70 million in 2017. McKinney, $70 million in 2018. Eagle Stadium in Allen, $60 million in 2012 and seats 18,000 people. Other fun
For
facts.
High school?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Other fun facts. Strip clubs in Texas can sell alcohol if they are topless only. If they are full nude, it's BYOB, and they only allow you to bring in alcoholic drinks. Same for us, by the way.
Nice.
They can only sell mixers, water, and ice. Back to the movie, plot holes. There are a lot more that I remember. I'm sure you guys will cover them. Did you talk about the last game when they won the district championship, yet that night it ended? Did they just forfeit the playoffs?
Right.
They don't really talk about that. I regularly use the Billy Bob quote. I give it a 10, a fucking 10. And even though that's the score they would want me to give this, in our real world, I have to give it a modern day 6.3. That's okay, and I will watch this movie many more times. Lastly, maybe you three can come up with a few questions that I could ask James Vanderbeek at my meet and greet, and maybe let Patreon vote and select the winner.
Nice.
Great
That's
idea.
an interesting thought there. So again, he was a 6.3. That's a 5.9 for us kids. Fairly low, not great. That's going to take it to its own spot. 5.9, just below Road Trip and Boondock Saints. Just above Waterworld and Running Man is how we feel about this movie.
Okay.
So throwing it out there, that's where we're at. We will get back to you, Josh, on a couple things you can maybe ask James Vanderbeek. And in fact, anybody out there, you're going to hear this before he does his meet and greet with him. So if anybody else feels it, jump in the comments. Let us know.
Absolutely.
Please and thank you.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for being here. Tune in next week. We got The Wizard, followed by Mike's pick, Crocodile Dundee.
Yes.
It's time to do it. And if you're new to the podcast, go back this time last year, The Fugitive.
Good one.
Very fun episode, friends.
Fantastic episode. This was a fun one, guys. We really appreciate y'all being here with us on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on social media at Confused Breakfast. Wherever you're on social media, search for Confused Breakfast. Get at us. By all means, hit that subscribe button, 5 stars, leave a review wherever you can. We always appreciate it. Most people don't even subscribe to a podcast that they listen to regularly, guys. So make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Crazy shit, huh? ConfusedBreakfast.com. You can get some of our merch. You can get some hats, some stickers, some shirts. some koozies. I think you can get your own. We actually made our own whipped cream bikinis. We just package them up. We have our we put stickers over the nipples. Kind of fun. Go to ConfusedBreakfast.com as well to see the ratings of the movies that we have covered. See AJ's ratings, see my ratings, and see Mike's ratings, and see the show's ratings overall. Goodbye. I love you.
Check us out on patreon.com/confusedbreakfast. We are produced by the Upload Media Group in Cedar Rapids. Learn more at uploadmediagroup.com. Logan on the controls. Yeah. Woo! And go check out cloud10.fm for more information about our people that do good stuff for us. Don't know the exact title off the top of my head.
10. Cloud 10.
Cloud 10. Fucking 10.
Fucking 10.
Pizza is showing up right now.
Don't want your laugh.
I don't want your laugh.
I don't want your laugh.
Holy fuck.